Today on Happy Hallmarkies, we talk about the movie Marry Me at Christmas with special guest Julie Sherman Wolfe. Let's do it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, everybody.
How beautiful.
I love it so much. Welcome back to AfterBuzz TV. We're talking Happy Hallmarkies. I'm your host, Marisa Serafini. You can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV. Joining me, I have my lovely co-host.
Yes. Hey, everyone. I almost said hi, Chessies, because that's what I'm used to doing on Monday afternoons.
Yes.
But hi, Hallmark family. I am Stefan Lovegrove, for those of you who don't know me, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dr. Lovegrove.
Yes, we had a really fun season of Chesapeake Shore, season 2. And
we did.
You are big into the Hallmark movies.
Marisa is my long-lost Hallmark sibling. No one in the world loves Hallmark movies more than she does, and truly, I had to come in for Countdown to Christmas.
Of course. I think I'm going to just bring you in every week against your will, and we're just going to talk about these movies.
Well, I was joking. I was like, what a burden to have to watch Hallmark Christmas movies to cover them. Oh, the burdens we must bear.
Terrible. I'm so excited to talk about this episode because there's a lot to cover. And we have special guest Julie Sherman Wolfe, who's going to be Skyping and talking all about Marry Me at Christmas, which was the first Christmas movie of the season.
And such a strong start.
It is, yeah.
Sometimes I feel like they save the best for last and we start off with a weaker movie. This was not a weak movie.
It wasn't.
This was a great start to the season.
Yes, but we'll definitely get into that in a few minutes. Let's first talk about the fun things that happened within the last week during the Hallmark news coverage. We had the American Humane Hero Dog Awards just aired. And I love watching the Hero Dog Awards every year. I have to watch them by myself because I'm such a dog lover, and these stories and packages are so emotional. I'm like a blubbering mess after watching every single dog.
Well, the crazy thing to me is how I guess it doesn't make sense to say how human the dogs are, but they're deeply moving stories with these animals. And yeah, I think I might have cried more watching the dogs than even in like a normal Hallmark movie.
Yeah, so we had the Hero Dog Awards. It was hosted by James Denton and Beth Stern. They were looking great, and we had a lot of the Hallmark family community who also presented every dog. And we had Barbara Niven was one of the presenters.
Yes, so good to see Barbara, and we're gonna see her in a Christmas movie coming up.
Yes, I'm excited
Never enough
to talk
Barbara.
about that. Nah, never enough. And they talked about all the different dogs. We had Atlas, the service dog, Aladdin, the therapy dog, Luca, the search and rescue dog, Pierce, the guide and hearing dog, Abigail, the emerging dog, and Ice, the law enforcement arson dog. And out of all of those, I loved all their individual stories. And out of all of them, we had the winner, Abigail. What did you think about learning about all the dogs and then seeing Abigail as the winner after all of that?
Well, I loved them all. I loved Abigail. Actually, the standout one to me was Aladdin.
Okay.
Simply because I thought the point they made about forgiveness was so powerful. And this idea of, it was so heartbreaking to see and just to try to imagine what kind of person harms an animal in that way. It's unfathomable. But to see that this creature who has been so harmed by humans could trust them again. Again, that's why I said these dogs are so human, and it's such a moving thing, because to me it really was a story of forgiveness, and that one just really moved me. I was like, the dogs are clearly better at forgiveness and opening up their hearts. Stacy says yes. It was very emotional. Understand.
It was.
So I think that was my favorite, is just that moment of forgiveness, of how crazy that the dog could be so hurt by people and then still trust people again.
Yeah, I found it beautiful. So congratulations to all the dogs who won, but also Abigail, who was the overall winner out of all of them. She has a great story that she unfortunately she was abused, and she was
the dog fighting, same thing, unfathomable to me.
It's really sad what unfortunate dogs and just all animals in general, like some animals go through. But the whole dog fighting, her head was like partially ripped, and the ear was partially missing and stuff. But she went through, actual people took her in and took care of her, and because her head was like so partially unfortunately ripped apart, that they had to cover it with bonnets, and then everyone just got on board and sent her bonnets from all over the world. It's such a touching story, and and she finally found a home, and it was just beautiful to see like a dog to go through such tragedy, but then like come out winning in the end, and I loved it. A dog that like really I enjoyed out of all of them was Luca, the search and rescue dog, who was a German Shepherd, who was pulled out of retirement. I mean, so they did search. This dog was specialized in search and rescue to help find people who were missing. And but this dog had gone through, was already in retirement, and then there was a whole story of they were trying to find someone, and he got out of retirement. Still, he wasn't in the day-to-day routine of doing it, but he still had those instincts, and ended up finding the person that they were searching for, and it's amazing. And it reminded me of a great movie and story that it's based on a true story, that if you have guys, I highly recommend it if you ever seen the movie Megan Levy. It's about a bomb sniffing dog. His name Rex. Based on a true story, there's an actual Megan Levy. And so this dog was placed in Iraq, in Ramadi and Fallujah. And it was bomb sniffing for dogs for guns and bombs, and they were so successful. In part, when Megan Levy and Rex were so successful, they had over 100 of missions and saved thousands of lives.
Wow.
But unfortunately, I don't want to like spoil the whole thing, but when they went back to the States, they got separated and they couldn't partner with each other anymore. And so like the rest of the movie, she's trying to get actual ownership of Rex, and goes through retirement. And it's a beautiful film. It came out in the summer of this year, of June 2017, and I just highly recommend it. If you guys love dogs and love service dogs, and it's also based on a true story, definitely go watch Megan Levy. When the movie came out, I watched it 3 times in theaters. That's how good it was. 3 individual times in theaters.
I mean, that's a lot.
It is, but that's how good the movie is, so I highly recommend it.
And I agree with what Lori Meeker, hey Lori, is saying, and everyone else in the comments, that thank you to Bill Abbott and everyone at Hallmark for putting this event on the air. I think it's beautiful how, Hallmark, of course, is the heart of TV, and everything that they do is really in line with that. And I think it's cool because this is such a heart-centered event and cause, and it's interesting because it's different, it's different than When Calls the Heart or Chesapeake Shores, or it's a dog show, but it's also something that all of us can get behind. And yeah, it's so in line with what Hallmark stands for.
And I love it. And I'm a humongous dog fan, and like a dog owner. So I really appreciate that they take the time and effort to highlight some of the dogs that really have an amazing story and should be told. So I applaud everyone at Crown Media for putting that on every single year and making us cry, because it's so good, so good. So the Hearties Family Reunion 3 had just wrapped last week. I was in Vancouver for it. I know you don't really watch When It Calls the Heart, or you haven't.
I'm starting to get on the bandwagon, though, because this community is so loud and clear that you've just got to.
Yes, it's so great. They're so encouraging and loving, and it's so nice to go to Vancouver. Well, the event was actually in Langley, which is only about 45 minutes outside of Vancouver. But it was so great to be there with the cast and the crew members and just the general fans of the show, because everyone's so supportive of each other. And it's just a loving community to all come together in such a positive place to meet with the stars, meet with other people who just have this commonality of loving When It Calls the Heart and Hallmark in general. And it was so nice to meet everyone, the people who I have met in past events and people who I've never met. And it's so fun. So that was my episode 2 of last week. If you guys haven't seen that, go check it out. My Hearties Family Reunion 3 special. I put a package together, photos, videos, interview outtakes, because those are always fun. and then the actual in-depth set tour of Hope Valley. So go check that out if for some reason you missed it.
And can I say, speaking of Canada, obviously they film a lot in Vancouver.
They do.
But not just shows for Hallmark. I was telling Marisa before the show, there is so much coverage in the media of Countdown to Christmas right now, which I love. I love that 2, 3, 4 million people are watching. I love that people are discovering it. And they confirmed what I already suspected, that most Countdown to Christmas movies are also filmed in Canada.
Yes.
So thank you, Canada, for all of the support for Hallmark Channel production.
Yes, thank you, Canada. You're amazing, and they're amazing tax exempts. We love it. We love it. And this movie that we are about to talk about was also filmed in Canada.
In Canada.
In Canada. So it's the beginning of the Countdown to Christmas, which we all love. We have so many movies are coming out this season. We've already had one.
Well,
so
I was sitting here thinking we have a full show today with everything to talk about, but then I was like, well, what does that mean for next week when we have 4 movies to go through? We're just gonna have to talk fast, guys.
We have 4 movies. Unfortunately, we're fast talkers, so it's great. So Countdown to Christmas movies have officially begun. We're so excited. We were texting each other, like all weekend long about all the Christmas movies that are airing. I have to clear out my DVR even more to make more space for all these movies.
Well, and because I know some of you out there will get this, and this is a safe space to admit this. I don't just get excited for the new ones. I don't know what it is in me that does this, but I actually don't buy or save on my DVR my favorites from year to year. So I have to wait, and then I see them. So I love One Starry Christmas, and I saw that it's on this Thursday at 4, and I was like, yes! So I'll DVR it again this year. Why don't I just save it or buy it? I don't know. But I just get excited for the entire thing.
Yeah, I'm excited. So our first movie is Marry Me at Christmas. And we have our special guest, Julie Sherman Wolfe. He's going to be joining us in a second.
So excited.
What were your quick thoughts about the movie, watching it?
Well, as I said, I thought it was a really strong beginning. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes the October movie I feel like is a struggle and we ease in with the quality. I did not feel that way this year. I thought it was a very strong pick. I've loved Trevor Donovan ever since 90210, so that was a huge, I guess it's a throwback now. It's been a decade or so.
Has it really been 10 years since the reboot? 90210?
I think so, because it was when I was in high school, and unfortunately that's been almost 10 years. So yeah, I love Trevor Donovan. And I just, you know what? I thought it was nice that we had 2 couples and neither one had to fall apart. I was afraid at first. I was like, is this going to be one of those movies where the couple that thinks they're going to get married shouldn't be together and they fall apart, but the other one works? I liked that we had 2 happy weddings, and I thought it was just a great movie to start off the holiday season.
I really enjoyed it. We had Rachel Skarsten, who's been in Rain and Lost Girl, and in Trevor Donovan, like you said. But Emily Tennant, who's also been in a lot of Hallmark movies too. I really enjoyed it. It was a nice, fun dynamic between these 2, and I think that whole starstruck celebrity type of, small town. And
I love those kind of movies as well. Yeah. And I know that you have a recommendation along that genre coming up, which I could not endorse more, and I'm so excited about.
I do. So let's get Julie on the line, and we'll talk to her for a little bit about this film. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cute. I watched it twice. Because, I wanted to watch it thoroughly. But, everything I liked, it was, I found the relationship very believable. I think the main 2 stars had a lot of chemistry.
And the resistance they had to owning the feelings was so believable. I was sitting there like, oh, God, we've all done this, been these people. I think she's here.
Yes.
I'm here.
Hello,
Hi.
Julie. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Okay, so we've already been talking about how much we love this film.
Thank you.
So we're very, very excited to talk to you about this. Now, we know that this story, Marry Me at Christmas, is actually based on the Fool's Gold book, Marry Me at Christmas, by Susan Mallory.
Right.
So,
she's amazing. I was already a fan of hers, so when I got the job to do her first Fool's Gold book for Hallmark, I was very, very happy. But then a little stressed out because, adapting a book is almost harder than doing something original, because you want to make the author happy, you want to make their fans happy, but you can't do exactly what the book is, because the movie would be 8 hours long. So it's a fine line, but I think from what I could see and what she told me, she was pretty happy too. So it worked out.
Oh, that's amazing. So she did have some creative input into it, yes?
Well, not as far as the screenplay goes. It's really just, we use the book as the starting off point, and I try to be as true to the book as I can, but then there are certain things that have to change just by the nature of it being on Hallmark. And what's funny about the hardest thing about a book is when you're reading a book and you can hear the innermost thoughts of the characters. They're all there on the page, and you know what they're thinking. And for a movie, you don't have that luxury. So that's what makes it a little bit harder, is that you have to kind of be able to express all these innermost thoughts, hopefully by great acting, which we absolutely had in this movie. This cast was unbelievable. I couldn't get over all the little expressions, and Rachel's little, her face scrunching up. She was amazing. Everyone was great. I was so happy.
Well, and there were so many moments. Obviously, we're watching a couple that clearly has chemistry, but doesn't want to admit the feelings they have. And it was like progressively so many nuances of them having these realizations gradually that were so fun to watch.
Did you see that moment where Trevor, when she took the tree and put it on her shoulder and just basically said bye, and you could just see him in his eyes just fall for her. I just thought that was such a great piece of acting from him.
And so sassy of her. I thought it was hysterical of her to do that.
I don't know why. I keep putting in all my scripts that my female leads were all college athletes, but that's just what I've been doing. But Stefan, by the way, what was funny is that you were talking about the movies where the couples fall apart. I'm guilty of one of those movies. It was Wedding Bells last summer.
Oh, yes.
Where the couple one falls apart and the other gets together, the Danica McKellar one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you, I live for those movies though, and sometimes I go to weddings and I'm like, what if I'm waiting. I don't want to wish ill on any real couples, but I always wonder, when am I going to go to the wedding where the wedding couple themselves don't work out, but somebody else falls in love and they just use the wedding anyway. But no, I thought it was adorable that Gloria, what's her name, right? No, Ginger. I don't know why it says Gloria. But Ginger and Oliver worked out.
Yeah, they were cute, and she was great, right? She was just so adorable.
She was so fun.
She was, and I believe that natural friendship that became through Ginger and Maddie, because they seemed like they were just meeting for the first time, but they seemed like best friends already. And
right.
you can believe like this.
Fool's Gold in the real books, there are so many characters that were in the book of Marry Me at Christmas that I couldn't fit into the screenplay. Not enough room. But Mayor Marcia is sort of she's the string that holds all the other books together. So at least she got to be in it for a second.
Yeah, I love that. Admittedly, I haven't read any of the Fool's Gold, but it's now in my Amazon cart, and I'm going to buy a bunch of those books to read. But, and because it's based on book series, and there's a lot of characters that are in these books, and you saw them in the film, but how did you go about, deciding what to keep from the book and what to omit?
Well, there's so little time to get it all in story-wise. So, Isabel, it was her best friend in the book, but in the book it was pregnant with triplets, and when in a very early draft we had that she was pregnant, and that just it just was superfluous. It didn't need to be there. Just kind of the other friends that were in the books that are in all the other Fool's Gold books, they just weren't important to this particular story, and that's what you just have to pare down. Like, who is important to this story that we're telling, and then that's it. The parents, obviously, and Clint, and all those people. That's still a lot. It's still a lot of people to service. So you just kind of pare it down as you go, and then once you start production and the budgets come in and all that kind of stuff, you realize there's some people that need to go even farther down the list.
Right.
A couple people would have a couple lines here and there, and then they would end up going to somebody who was already in it, that kind of thing.
Right. I like the fact that it was kind of a more limited cast, and you saw some of the same people over and over again, because I felt that's very authentic to a small town, because you get to see the same people in the same place over and over again, and I really enjoyed it.
I love those. I posted this somewhere on Twitter the other night, where the way that Disney, how Disney built Celebration Florida?
Yes.
Sort of like, living in the Disney bubble. I swear, if Hallmark built just Hallmark town, and it was looked like all the quaint little towns of all the movies. People would live there, and people would pay any amount of money. I would.
Absolutely.
Well,
but I did move to Connecticut because I kept setting all my movies in these like Connecticut small towns, and I finally realized I just really want to live in New England. So we moved here.
There you go. Congratulations. That's
is it
amazing.
beautiful at this time of year?
Oh my God, it's amazing. And we had a big storm, and that was all fun. And yeah, and then I discovered the glory of the delayed opening of school with my son, which was amazing. He didn't have to be in school for 2 hours later than it started. It was great. So so I'm living in my Hallmark movie right now.
That's amazing. And I like, actually being at the physical locations can actually really help inspire your writing once you're actually there.
It does. I used to just travel here all the time just because I thought it was so beautiful. Research. I have to go to Nantucket.
Have to.
Gotta see it in person.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So now I guess if I want to fly home and call it research, I need to start setting stuff in San Francisco or LA, but probably not.
And we have enough movies and television shows that take place here. It's fine. But this movie actually filmed in Revelstoke, Canada, which is a smaller population like 6,000, almost 7,000. But were you actually there on set to help see it come to fruition?
No, but I was supposed to go, but I have an 8-year-old, and life happens, and you sometimes just can't leave. But the great part about this is we had a great producer, Jim Head and Joel Rice, and they are very inclusive, and as is Hallmark, obviously. And if there was ever a line change or something that needed to be done on the day of shooting, I would just get a call or an email, hey, can you change this line or whatever, and then I would just do it from home. I mean, I really like being part of it still, even if I'm not physically there, but going is the best. It's really fun. I just go as a fan almost. It's just fun to get out of your bubble when you're a writer. You're just in your office and you're sort of, don't get out that much.
Right.
It's just nice to remember what it is you're doing and why you're doing it, and get out onto the set. It's really fun when you can go.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was beautiful. I love the location. It seemed like a quaint town. It's kind of a ski resort type of town, but it was beautiful. Yeah. It was. What time of the year was this film? Because it looked like it was
March. It was just the end of winter, so they had a nice big snowstorm, I think, right before they shot, which was awesome. And doesn't it look like it was fake? The mountain in the back. I thought it looked. I mean, it was so beautiful. I thought it actually. People might think it was, some kind of green screen, but it totally was real.
That was the mountain.
That was.
Yes, that was the mountain.
So it was real. I mean, Canada is gorgeous. I was just in Canada last week, and it's a beautiful place.
So you guys were in Langley. I mean, they shoot so much stuff in Langley.
So much. I was there for When Calls the Heart, the Hearties Family Reunion 3.
Yes.
Do you watch that show?
I do. I try and watch as much as I can. But I have one of my good friends is actually the producer of Good Witch, so that's my number one.
Excellent.
And then I love all the kind of the period stuff. So I do love When Calls the Heart and all that kind of stuff. But it's just the people that come together because of that show. It's just amazing. I think it's just so special.
Yeah. So it's safe to say you're Hardy too.
I am Hardy. I'm a Hallmarkie. I would say. I would say I'm a Hallmarkie straight up.
There you go.
And I was before I finally got a chance to write one of them, because it's just been. I've always loved these movies, especially Christmas.
Yeah, that's amazing. So the people in live chat, they all say hi, and they all say that you should join the New England Hearties. Lee Beth says you should join the New England Hearties.
I shall.
You shall.
I didn't even know there was a New England Hearties. Yeah. I was just sort of on the big page with all the people.
Yep, there's a New England
big
Hearties.
Page.
There you go. So join them, because everyone's fantastic too. But
I will.
Yeah, you were saying writing for Hallmark. How did Hallmark come to you? How did you get involved with Hallmark?
Well, things take a long time, in Hollywood, and I've been writing for 20 years already at the time, and my favorite genre, I've written pretty much every kind of every genre, but my favorite's always been romantic comedy. And I'd sold a couple feature films that have yet to be made, and a couple of other TV movies, and I had a Lifetime TV movie I think now it's been 10 years. And then I just knew, I knew the Hallmark people, but it just hadn't, we just hadn't found the right connection, the right moment. And I ended up working with a producer named John Eskenes, who we'd been trying to find something to do together for a few years, really. And finally, everything just fell into place. And that one was Hello, It's Me from 2 years ago.
Okay.
And that just did well, and it was a great experience, and it just kind of kept going from there. And I think I'm on my 9th right now.
Yeah, you've done one, and I feel like that's very true to, you know, the industry. Once you get one, they like everything just like keeps coming.
Yeah, I know it's like hashtag blessed is, you know, such a cliche, but I really do feel I'm so grateful about it. I love working for them. I think it's just, you know, you're not going to have people coming out and saying bad things about this network and the people and Bill Abbott and Michelle Vickers. Everyone's very supportive. It really is a family. I love working for them. And that's, you know, I'm happy to do that till the cows come home. I'm good.
What's your favorite movie that you've written for Hallmark?
Geez. Honestly, it's a toss up between Marry Me at Christmas and The Birthday Wish.
Okay.
Oh, I love the Birthday Wish.
And I just think the ones where they let things, it's like kind of the ones where they let me do a little more of the calm of the rom-com, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like I started out in sitcoms, so I just like kind of going for that kind of the character humor and all that kind of stuff. And I tend to go overboard on the comedy, and then they pull me back. But I felt like those ones were good. I mean, I always love the one I'm writing while I'm writing it, and when it's airing, you know, it's like a kid. Sure. You don't really love your kids any less. I might love a couple a little bit more.
I love that. I mean, you've written a lot for Hallmark. You know, just looking at your repertoire since Hello, It's Me, you've done Wedding Bells, The Convenient Groom, The Birthday Wish, Summer in the Vineyard. I mean, we had Brendan Penny from Chesapeake Shores. I mean, come on. And then Marry Me at Christmas, and you have a new movie coming out too, Finding Santa.
Yes, and I just saw, actually, now see, I don't know if that's my favorite now, because I just saw one of the early cuts of it, and it turned out so great, and Jodie Sweetin's just so charming, really charming in it. I love her, she's great. And another great cast, so I can't wait for you guys to see that one too. It's going to be fun, and that one's on, I think, Black Friday.
Yes.
So
that's my birthday.
I'm picturing everybody tuckered out from shopping and getting into their sweatpants and just, you know, chilling with Hallmark like we do.
Literally, Black Friday is literally one of my favorite days of the year because I'm a film major, so I completely go crazy and I'm in the 3 a.m. line getting all my movies.
Yes,
I am one of those
$2
people.
DVDs.
Yeah,
But so
I'm
you're
one of those
smack
people.
dab in the middle of the 5-night Thanksgiving movie marathon.
Is that what it is? Is it going to be called the 5-night Thanksgiving?
Yep,
movie?
Candace Cameron Bure. And you're the Friday night one, which is my birthday, so I get a movie from you for my birthday. Thank you so much.
Stefan, you know, if I had known that, I would have put your name in the script as one of the characters.
Oh, look at that. That's so special.
Oh, all my friends, I've used up almost all my friends, so, you know, I just...
You're running out at this point.
What's that?
I said you're getting desperate at this point. Got to use anyone you can find.
Well, now you have two more names. You have Marisa and Stefan. You know,
I know, right?
I've seen so many Hallmark movies. I have yet to see a character named Marisa. Come
Or
on,
Stefan.
Hallmark. Come on.
If I use you, Marisa, I actually killed 2 birds with 1 stone because my college roommate was Marisa, so there you go.
That
would help.
Now
do
I'll
it.
be looking for a Marisa in a
feels-
movie penned by you.
I'm waiting for that to happen, Julie.
I'm gonna,
Let's make
you know
that
what?
happen.
I'm literally always looking for names because they do convey a certain, you know, you're not gonna have, you know, one of the characters in Marry Me is Gladys. Gladys is she's adorable, and the Polaroid scene was hilarious, but Gladys is not gonna be the lead.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be the lead's name, you know. So you kind of run out of those strong.
Well,
Marissa's a good one.
Barb was such a Barb. Can I just say that name could not have
Barb.
been more perfect.
Yeah, he was great. Good talk, Barb. He was awesome. And the other cute moment I thought of Trevor's was when he said he got gloves and he was just like a little kid.
Right.
You know, I got gloves. He was so happy.
In LA, we don't need gloves. It's
true.
so hot out here.
No.
So
Can I tell you that the buying of the boots has been the greatest part of moving to New England is getting to wear jackets and boots. Yes.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I'm very happy about this.
Yeah, you actually get to experience all the seasons now.
Yeah.
Not like
it's amazing.
California. Not like California. So going back to the movie a little bit. So
Sure.
now watching it, and what do writing it and seeing it now come to fruition on screen, what do you think like really hit well that you like? It's exactly what you envisioned. Are there any moments like that?
The Gladys Polaroid scene, that's one, when she takes a selfie with the Polaroid. Actually, Clint, all that stuff is that was great. Oh wait, that's the wrong movie. Shoot. Ha! Oh my God, that's so funny. I'm actually thinking of Finding Santa right now.
Oh, okay. We'll keep that.
See, that's what happens when you watch your movies before they're out. You started getting confused about that. But anyway, yeah, the glass.
Whoever wanted the hint, there's your accidental hint.
Now we know what to look
Wait
forward
until.
to.
Well, it doesn't really tell you anything that there's something
Right.
named.
That's not really a spoiler.
No, but when you watch it, you'll go, oh, Clint. Yes,
Got
totally.
it.
Yes, the Gladys scene, and actually just sort of that whole first scene when Maddie sees Johnny and doesn't know that she's about to meet him, and oh my God, he's gorgeous and all that stuff. That whole thing with them, that whole entire scene in the cafe is exactly it was I really really loved. I really really loved that scene. And then it's toward the end, actually, I really liked everything they did with the wedding and everything. The only thing that you couldn't see really clearly that I thought was a sweet moment, but you had to really look carefully to catch it, was that the town was actually lined up to block the paparazzi from taking Johnny's pictures at the end when they walked out of the church, which was kind of hard to catch because it was a really quick shot. But just the fact that he felt, that he was at home and he bought the house and all that stuff. I mean, I really loved how that turned out, and I really believed that was in that moment. I thought it was a really sweet moment for them.
Well, that makes sense because I remember she said you've made quite an impression on this town,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I wasn't sure because there were a lot of flash bulbs. Now I have to go back and watch it. It's still on my DVR, fortunately. But I remember that they walked out and there were all the flash bulbs, but the town was in front of them.
Yes. So that's what that was.
That's what
Yeah.
the line was about.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I really liked it because I felt like, because I'm from a small town, so I know what that mentality of like when someone big comes to the town, you're like, oh, this is the most exciting thing to talk about. It's literally the talk of the town, and so I thought that translated very well and very realistic. I did enjoy that, but we actually have a good question from the live chat. Stacey Matthews actually asked, "Are there any Easter eggs in this movie that we might have missed?"
Goodness. Stacy. Hi, Stacy. I know Stacy. Gosh. You know what? In this one, I wasn't able to have as many. And usually the joke is that I always have a coffee house with a whimsical chalkboard menu. But I think that might be every Hallmark movie has coffee house with a whimsical chalkboard menu. I had a goal that I was going to put ranch dressing in all of my movies. Because I just had 2 in a row where we talk about ranch dressing. I really like it. And I feel like that just needs to be talked about. I think it's an important thing, ranch dressing. Anyway, so I think I tried to put it in, but it didn't quite make it into this one. Sorry. I do have a lot of food in my movies for no particular reason, except maybe that food is a comfort and so is Hallmark, and maybe together they make sense.
Make literally comfort food.
You know what though? Hallmark movies are so much about like indulging in the season.
Right.
So the smells and the leaves changing and the cupcakes and Christmas tree, like you want all the sounds and smells and all of it. So I think that's appropriate.
I made a bingo card for, I think it was Wedding Bells or Convenient Groom, where I put every food that was in the movie as sort of like a bingo game to play, and I filled up the whole card. Like that's how much food is in that movie.
Well,
it's great.
It's amazing.
And I hope that I'm saying the name of the drink correctly, but I thought it was so cute that that she used, because she didn't want to go on a date, but like kind of she initiated one anyway, the outing.
Yeah, outing.
But I thought
Right.
the candy cane martini thing was so cute. And then the really large drink that was the other option that was even more coupley. And I just thought it was so cute.
That was cute because I didn't know how they were going to make it look. Because, you just write something like, it's a gigantic, ridiculous looking drink with candy cane on the rim, with cotton candy on the rim, and I thought it looked really fun. I thought it turned out really
I
cute.
wanted it. I was like, Marisa,
Yeah, no,
let's
that
go to a
looked
Christmas
delicious.
bar where we can get these
I was
specials.
like, we should just make it ourselves.
The set decorators and everybody, they do such a great job on the Christmas movies for Hallmark. It just, I don't know how they do it. They just make it look so beautiful.
They did, especially the martinis and stuff. I think he had Trevor had one of the best lines. Johnny, he says, "There's no manly way to drink this." I
That's
love
my
that
husband.
so
That's
much.
basically I lifted that from my husband. And and the strolling thing. Okay, it's not an Easter egg, but it's a tidbit. I have a tidbit. The strolling thing where he can't, where she's strolling and he can't take how slow she's walking. That's me, but it's the opposite. Like my husband just strolls and just, takes his time and whatever. And I just want to get there. And we we bicker about it all the time. I just, especially when I need to learn to stop and smell the roses, but I just really want to get where I'm going. I guess that's just my personality.
I understand.
I'm the
I walk
same
like a
way.
New Yorker. LA has not rubbed off on me in that way. I still walk like an East Coaster.
See, that's why I think I belong here. I have that like, get out of my way. I'm walking here.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Power walker, and you got the long legs. I really enjoyed it. That's funny. Learning that about you and your husband, and applying that to this movie. I really enjoyed this film. Like I watched it twice, like I said before, but I picked up more on the second time. I feel like I laughed more the second time because there were just so many small jokes.
There
that I
was a
missed
lot
the
of
first time.
comedy.
Yay! That is my whole goal is to bring the com into the rom com. Because I mean, it's I try and there's obviously there's moments and there's drama and all that stuff, but my hero is Nora Ephron or Nancy Myers or any of those guys.
Yes.
That's the kind of stuff I grew up watching and why I became a writer. So I love being able to do that with Hallmark movies.
I'm so glad you said that. We can be best friends because Nancy Myers is my god. I own literally every movie of hers. She's amazing. I aspire to be like her. But like I love that because Nora Ephron and Nancy Myers, they write such strong female protagonists.
Right,
But they
exactly.
also write strong male protagonists too. And I find the relationships like so believable. And there's always that
jerks,
life.
they're not jerks. Like it doesn't hate. You don't have to hate men. You know what I mean? Like there are good guys. My husband's always joking that all the leading men on Hallmark movies, are woodworkers or they make furniture. That's not true, but that's funny.
No, that's not true.
Like they're all like good guys, down to earth guys who, make furniture or they're artistic. These are good, solid guys.
Well, and in this movie, we got like a down-to-earth, actually nice celebrity guy, which is nice, not the person from LA breaking her heart. And you know what? I think the comedy is so appropriate given the fact that, at least for my personality, if you like someone but you can't admit it and you don't want to openly show affection, don't we use humor in those exact situations? That's exactly what you do with that tension.
Exactly.
And I fell in love with my husband because of his sense of humor first. That was number one. And that's always the number one. When you're going to be in a relationship, that's the most important thing, to be honest, because everything else can go down the tubes, but if you can laugh about everything that's happening, it's great. So that's how I go about when I think in most of my movies, when couples meet, there's some humor to the moment. It's not like, it's not a dramatic, sparks fly kind of thing. It's more of a
Which
humor
I
based.
appreciated that so much. Sometimes it's nice to have a moment where when they meet, it's not like horrible hate each other, but it's also not we knew from the first moment. It's just kind of it was a bizarre moment.
Yeah, I mean her face, her expression when she said he's gorgeous was just perfect. So funny. And all the side characters, like how funny was Shelby at the gingerbread house?
I loved her. I was going to bring her up too. I think she was so good. All the secondary characters were so good because, especially Shelby, made me laugh a lot. How she kept she kept like volunteering Maddie to say,
she really
yes,
is.
she can
really
do the wedding planning. She just kept saying yes for Maddie. It was hysterical watching.
And even the barista when he's like, name Steve. Okay, Steve. You know, just even that little part, she did a great job. That's what I'm saying. I love the casting in this one so much. So good.
I thought so too. I think the cast was amazing. Did you have any input on who got casted or no?
No. You know, basically when I turn the last draft in, and there can be a lot of drafts to get from from point A to point B on these, it's pretty much left up to the director and the producers and all those guys. In the future, if I ever produce or anything like that, then yeah, I'll have more of a say in it. But I've yet to be disappointed in their choices. And the Hallmark crew, the kind of the stable of actors that they do use over and over, there's a reason. They're great. They really get it. They're cute. Jodie Sweetin's really cute. You'll see.
I'm so excited for that. And I love all the Full House ladies. They're in everything Hallmark. They're amazing. Yes. I think Rachel did a great job, and this was her first Hallmark movie too.
Was it her first one? I couldn't remember.
Yeah, she said in an interview this was her first Hallmark movie that she's done. So she's gonna do more, hopefully.
She'll definitely do more. Oh, by the way, and also in Finding Santa, Eric Winter, very, very good looking. Very good looking. He's cute. And so was Trevor. I mean, everyone's awesome. Everyone's good looking. Can't. So Rachel, I'm sure will do more. And actually, I think that there was a lot of chatter about Emily Tennant, who played Ginger, getting some more opportunities. That people really, really liked what she did too.
I think she's great. She's
Crystal Lowe, of course. She's amazing. She can do anything.
Of course. And I also loved Camille Mitchell, who was big in Smallville, playing the mother, playing Barbara.
Smallville, what a throwback! Trevor was a throwback for me from 90210. These are all the shows of my teenage years. Smallville, 90210.
Smallville. Well, Erica Durance was in my very first TV movie.
I'm Wed.
I'm Wed.
I watched that when that first came out. I loved it. I did. No, I totally did.
You know what? I'm Wed has been, and I have these on my office wall. It's like the top 3 most ridiculous Lifetime movies and top 10 Lifetime movies we love to hate watch. I made both lists.
Both of them.
Oh, no.
Very proud. Very proud. Well, actually, I really am. It's kind of fun. I think it's hilarious. I love it. That's why they are on my wall, like in a frame.
Oh, there you go. I loved I'm Wed. I thought that was really funny. Just the whole concept of marrying yourself it sounds ridiculous, but the way that the movie played out, it's not really about marrying yourself, it's about being true to yourself and loving who you are.
This lady just did it. Did you read? There's a whole article about some lady in Europe that did that exact thing, and everyone in the comments is like, there was a movie about this 10 years ago.
It was yours.
Really? Oh, well, I'll have to look that up.
By the way, I just Googled Eric Winter as I've been sitting here, and yes. So everyone, please go to your TV as soon as you finish watching us and set it on your DVR now. It's probably not available yet, but we definitely have to watch now after that. My goodness.
Yes. I mean, we're planning on watching all the Christmas movies. There's so many, but we're definitely looking forward to watching Finding Santa now. Because you've teased it so much.
I know. And I wish I could tell you all the other stuff coming up for next year, but I can't. Okay. I'm not allowed to.
Well, I was just going to ask, any upcoming projects that we can look forward to that you can talk about?
No.
Okay.
I can. Fair. There are really interesting, fun, great things going on, but I will be in big trouble if I say anything before they do. So.
Okay.
But the good news is Marisa will be here for anything involving Hallmark next year.
What's that?
I said Marisa will be here, and Happy Hallmarkies will cover anything involving Hallmark next year. So we will see.
I will be at your service as soon as I'm allowed to do any of that stuff.
Okay.
I am going to fly in for the Critics Gala. That's the best night of the whole. There's 2 nights a year where the Hallmark Channel, gives a big party and everybody goes. It's just a lot of fun, and
the TCAs?
It's like a reunion. It really is like a reunion. It's great.
I'm excited for that. I always love watching the photos and videos that go on during the night. And I just so want to be there because it looks like such an amazing time.
It's a love fest. I mean, it's really something. Because Hollywood is. You hear all these horrible stories about backbiting and all the. Especially the last couple of weeks about all these things that are horrible things. But just as it is a safe place for viewers, it's still almost like that for the people who work there too. It's just a really good group.
I'm Yeah, I'm sure it is. I've heard nothing but positive things from everyone who I've been fortunate enough to talk to.
That's
so.
good to know. I've told Marissa, the more behind the scenes I've gotten to see of Hallmark this year has made me feel even better about watching them, because it's so nice to know the heart of the people, and just the culture of the people behind the movies is so real. It's not just a fake commercialistic thing.
Right, exactly. I mean, from Bill on all on down. I mean, with the animals you guys were talking about earlier, I mean, that is true. Like Bill cares deeply about animal rescue and animals. And it's just, if you have a heart like that big for animals, then it goes into everything else in your life. Jerky people tend not to like animals.
That's true.
They don't matter.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you, Julie, for joining us and talking about this amazing movie. This is the first one, and we have your Finding Santa coming out to look forward to. We'll probably we'd love to have you back for that one.
Sure,
we can talk all about
Then
that.
we can talk about Clint.
Yes.
Then we can talk about.
I can't wait.
When you see, it's just going to be funny because it's not even one of the leads, but you'll see why I said that.
Now we'll all tweet. Everybody on the
Now we
AfterBuzz
know.
family will tweet you about Clint that night.
That's right.
Yes.
Exactly. I will be there. I'm actually not going to get up from this chair until that night. I'm just going to wait.
Sounds good. So we'll talk to you in a month then for Finding Santa. But in the meantime, where can everyone follow you, your work, your social media?
I'm really trying to up my Twitter game, so it's at Sherman Wolfe, and Wolf has an E on the end. At Sherman Wolfe. That's pretty much the one I'm really doing. I have a writer's page on Facebook, but the Twitter is where I'm going to concentrate. I love live tweeting with everybody. It's really fun.
It is fun. I love doing it every time something new happens.
I saw you on there, Marisa. That was fun.
Oh yeah. You'll see me every once in a while. It is fun. It's fun to join in the live chat with everybody. Because we're all watching the same thing at the same time. So it's great.
Exactly.
It's great. It is such a community. So congratulations to you on this film. All your other films that you've done for Hallmark, and I cannot wait to see Finding Santa now because you've teased it so often, and just everything that you're going to be doing in the future. I'm really looking forward to it.
You guys, thanks so much for having me. It was really fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Julie. Happy holidays.
Yeah.
Bye.
And I'll
you.
look for a character named Marisa. Done.
I have written it down on my list.
Yes.
It's there.
Yes.
Okay.
We're putting
And
it out
and
into the
Stefan.
world.
I'll wait for Stefan too then.
Okay, good. You should.
Yes. All right. Thanks, Julie, and we'll talk
Bye.
to you again soon then.
Okay, bye.
Yes. Amazing. I loved it.
Can I just say, isn't it one fun thing about these Hallmark movies that they are one of the few things on TV that people do still watch? Of course, we all have them on our DVR, as we've been discussing in live chat this whole hour. But people do watch them live. And that is actually one thing. I'm just so hyped about how the media is discovering everyone's watching Hallmark while all their networks decline in ratings.
I know.
But truly, one of the special things about these movies is that people do watch them live still. At 8 p.m.
At 8 p.m.
Saturday and Sunday. You're there.
Yes, and speaking of which, so our upcoming movies, this Marry Me at Christmas was just the first one out of the whole
33.
list of 33. So for those who don't know what's coming up next, this is why you watch us. All right, so we have Christmas Festival of Lights.
Ice.
Oh, sorry, of ice. Did I say sorry, I'm reading.
That'll
my
be
notes
2
here.
years from now.
Yes. Christmas Festival of Ice, which will air on the Hallmark Channel, starring Taylor Cole and Damon Runyon, that airs Saturday, November 4th, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then we have next on Miss Christmas, also on the Hallmark Channel, starring Brooke Dorsey and Mark Blucas, who's from Buffy. Love it. That airs Sunday, November 5th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. So that's the Hallmark Channel movies. Now, also on the same weekend, on the Hallmark Movies and Mysteries Channel, we have The Perfect Christmas, which stars Sam
The
Page.
perfect Christmas present.
Oh my goodness. Sorry. My notes are completely all blocked here right now. Sorry, guys. The Perfect Christmas Present, Hallmark Movies and Mysteries Channel, starring Sam Page, Tara Holt, that airs Saturday, November 4th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then also on Sunday, the following day, we have Christmas in the Air on Hallmark Movies and Mystery Channel, starring Catherine Bell, who we love so much from The Good Witch, and Eric Close, who was also just in Nashville. He plays Teddy. He's been in other Hallmark movies as well. That airs Sunday, November 5th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Woo, we got some movies to watch this next weekend.
Yes. Well, and again, I would watch them all anyway. It's going to be a fast-talking show next week.
It's gonna be. There's a lot to talk about.
Lee said an easy way to miss anything is just don't turn off Hallmark. But actually,
True.
the real decision is, so my default channel when I turn my TV on is Hallmark. But now the decision at Countdown to Christmas is, do you turn on Hallmark or do you turn on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries? I usually stick with Hallmark's main unless there's a new one, which I'll DVR, or if there's a movie that I know I like on Movies and Mysteries.
Yes.
Or if I'm like feeling down that day and I want to cry, then you turn on Movies and Mysteries for the more serious. And next year we may even have Christmas stuff on Hallmark Drama. It's out of control.
Woo! There's just so much content to talk about. I'm looking forward to these 4 movies, so definitely make space in your DVR. Don't even DVR it. Just watch it. Watch it live. But some of them
You'll have to choose at some point.
Some of them do air at the same time, so it's really like pick your darlings. But a lot of great things to look forward to. That's just next week. That's next week.
I know.
We'll have a lot to talk about next week. And here's my last thing. So if you liked Marry Me at Christmas, this was my Marisa Movies suggestion of the week. You'll also probably love Christmas in Homestead, which aired last year, starring Taylor Cole. And it's about a big movie star coming to a small town in Christmas and stirs things up, and of course starts a relationship and romance with the town mayor of all people.
Which was one of my favorites last year. And
Same
when I
here.
went to Home and Family for the first time with Marissa, we discussed Christmas in Homestead. And I think it's brilliant that you wrote it down as a recommendation because it's
such a great
in alignment
film.
with Marry Me at Christmas.
Yes, it
And
is.
if you're into the celebrity theme, can I say Catch a Christmas Star, which was just on this morning at 6 a.m. or 8 a.m., one of the two.
Yeah.
That is also one of the Fall in Love with the Star movies, though a little bit different take.
I love that film too. That was so good.
I do.
I have that on DVD. I have a lot of these on DVD. Yes. So if you love Marry Me at Christmas, you probably love Christmas in Homestead. And I also interviewed Michael Nardelli, who played the photographer in Christmas in Homestead. So.
Oh, and I have an update for people on this movie.
Yes.
Christmas in Homestead is airing Sunday at 10 on Hallmark. So
Which date?
Sunday, November 5th. So this coming Sunday. And then if you missed that, it's airing not this Thursday, but next Thursday at 4. So for podcast listeners or viewers, you have 2 chances to see Christmas in Homestead and record it if you, for some reason, have not seen it.
It's such a great film. You'll definitely love it. If you love this one, you'll love that one too. We love Hallmark in general. Obviously, of course, so many things to watch. Thank you everyone for tuning in and listening to us and us, going crazy on the Christmas movies. We've only just begun, you guys.
I know,
We've only
it's
just
crazy.
begun. 1 out of 33. We have 32 more movies to talk about. In the meantime, Stefan, where can everyone keep following you?
Yeah, Twitter and Instagram. Welcome to those of you who are new to Happy Hallmarkies and weren't on the Chesapeake Shores bandwagon. And hopefully I will be here multiple times for Countdown to Christmas. So
Yes.
Dr. Lovegrove on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll come say happy holidays for 10 weeks in a row as we move through the fall.
Yeah, we're just going to keep talking about Christmas movies all season long. I love this music so much. Patrick Buchanan is my favorite score of all time. Like, literally, as I get married, this is going to be playing as I walk down in the aisle. That's my thing. Okay, thank you everyone. I'm your host, Marisa Serafini. You can follow me on Twitter at SerafiniTV. Keep rating, keep commenting, keep watching Hallmark and all these amazing Christmas movies on Hallmark Channel and Movies and Mysteries. We have so much to talk about. Thank you everyone, and we will see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.